let's talk about how to practice and developing a practice schedule. So now that we have some idea as to why it is that we're playing guitar, we've got some direction, right? We know what it is that we want to get from the guitar. This is great. We could get in a car and just drive around, or we could say, hey, I want to go see Yosemite. And we get in the car and we have a direct path and we know how we're going to get there. Roaming is fun too, but usually we have a directive. We have a specific thing that we want to get to, and especially in today's day and age, having some sort of plan, some sort of direction, some sort of method to get there is really going to help. So now that we know what it is that we want to do on the instrument, how do we develop a practice schedule? How do we practice? Okay, and these are all great questions. So let's talk about that. So first off, we should talk about genres. If certain genres, like for me, I love so many different genres of music that for me to just pick one, unfortunately I couldn't. Most people don't have that problem. They'll say, I'm a rock player, that's all I am, I just love rock, or I just love blues. Now, I would say, for me, I'm very much a rock player, and then probably blues, and then, trickle down to, pop, classical. I mean, then I'm probably like a 80% rock player, or maybe like a 70% rock player, and maybe 60% rock player, 30% blues player, and then all the other genres, maybe another 10% or something like that. Because I really love those genres so much. But there's just only so much time, right? And so those other genres don't get as much time, but I still love them. So for most people, they have one or two genres that they really love, and that's important. Write that down. So that's rockabilly. I love rockabilly. That's all I want to play. Great. That's going to totally make a difference in the things that you learn on the guitar. And again, what we're trying to do is save time and energy, and we're trying to get to where we want to get to in a nice, efficient manner. Okay, so if you're playing blues, sitting down and learning all the jazz modes is really not going to help you. You're just not going to use them in blues. You could, but it's going to start sounding jazzy. If you want to sound bluesy, you use the blues scale and you learn blues chords and blues turnarounds and blues chord progressions and styles and that sort of thing. So having some genres that you know that you love is an important thing. That's going to help to develop your schedule, okay? Knowing what level of guitar you want to get to, extremely important, okay? Let's say you say, I've got kids and I've got a family and I've got a full-time job, and I don't want to be a professional guitar player. Not only do I not see it in my future, I don't want to be that, okay? I would say if it's your desire, don't take it off the table. If it's something you don't desire to do, then that's a whole other thing. I thought that I wanted to tour around with a bunch of musicians for the rest of my life, and I did that a little bit and then found out, no, that's not really what I want to do. I love being at home, I love traveling, I love being with my family. So that, even though it seemed like something romantic and something awesome to do, and it was, I said, I really like staying at home. I like waking up in my bed and going to sleep in my bed and those sorts of things. So those other variables determined what it is that I do today. So, but I knew that I wanted to be as exceptional as I could be and balance my personal life, okay? So for some of you, you may be young and you may say, I'm in high school or I'm in college and this is all I want to do with my life. And this would be a great time to just really delve in and just absolutely absorb anything and everything that you can in order to fulfill your dreams of what it is that you want to do with your guitar playing, okay? So determining what level you want to get to is a good thing too. So you may say, I really just want to play around the campfire. That's all I want to do. I want to have the acoustic guitar and I want to play around the campfire. Then there's certain skill set that you'll need, like knowing your open chords, knowing how to use your capo, and a myriad of other things, maybe not a myriad, other things that you'll need. If you want to be a studio guitar player, you'll have to know a myriad of things, many, many, many different things, because you'll be asked to do a lot of different things. People are paying you good money, a lot of money, and so it's important that you're able to just play what it is that they're looking for. So it takes a lot of talent to be a studio guitar player. A true studio guitar player takes an immense amount of talent. What I mean by talent is practice, is really what I mean by that. So, knowing what level you want to get to is also very helpful. If I'm a songwriter, I would want to practice things like chord progressions, the Nashville number system, as I teach later on in the course. You would want to learn lyric writing and melody writing and, maybe transposing, those sorts of things, so that you can work with artists. So a different skill set there. Every single time, depending on what it is that we want to do, we have a different skill set, okay? Now, back in high school, when I was just learning to play, I had been playing for a few years, I decided that I just wanted to be the best that I could be as a guitar player. And I had many hours during the day, especially during the summer. As much as I could play guitar, I played guitar. Sometimes 8, 10, 12 hours a day I would play guitar. I would just sit there and play through my scales, then I'd do improvisation, then I would learn some songs by ear, and it was just constantly learning. And what I did back then is I had a piece of paper and it would say, work with a metronome, scales, dexterity exercises, chords, music theory, improvisation, learning new songs, working on repertoire, working in the studio. And I just would go right down the list of different subjects that I could think of that I could exploit and get really good at. And then typically I would break those into an hour a piece. So maybe for an hour I would just practice my scales over and over and over again. Maybe I was watching TV or talking to a friend on the phone or something. But nonetheless, I was just practicing my scales over and over and over again. That sort of thing. And then my next subject, I would work on that. So you could do that sort of thing. Now, if you're a kind of player where we are totally fine with mediocrity, and I don't mean anything bad by that. There's some folks that are like, I don't want to do this as a career. I just want to have fun. 100% legitimate, and there's a certain way to practice for that. If you want to be the best that you can be in your town, that's one thing. If you want to be the best that you want to be in LA or Nashville or New York, that's a whole nother level. You come here in Nashville where there's probably tens of thousands of guitar players, there's a lot of competition, and it's the best of the best. So you really have to up your game. If you want to teach in a town like this, same thing. There's a lot of people teaching, a lot of people that know about guitar. You can't just kind of hack your way through it. You really have to know what you're doing. And so depending on what it is, the level that you want to get at also depends on how long you'll practice, okay? So if let's say you only have a half hour a day to practice, or let's say during the week, maybe you only have 3 hours to practice, okay? Maybe one day you'll pick it up for an hour and another day you'll miss completely. Well, in that case, you'll really want to focus on exactly what it is your next obstacle to overcome, your next level. And you'll want to just focus all your energy on that. Whereas if you were like me in high school and you had 8 or 10, 12 hours to practice, you have many different things that you could cover. So you could feel free taking an hour per subject and really just riding it out and seeing where it takes you. So looking at your time is really going to help out a lot. If you know that you only have 10 minutes a day, you're going to want to practice just the specific bits that I'm teaching you here and then moving on when you're ready, okay? So with all that being said, what I want you to do, your takeaway from this is, you know what it is that you want to do, okay? Pick your specific genres that you like or genre, the level that you want to get to, and anything else, any other particulars that might describe what it is that you want to do, because everybody's different, okay? Every guitar player is different. Every person's different. And what it is that you desire is going to curtail what kind of practice schedule you like, or what practice schedule is going to help you the most. That's why I don't prescribe a specific practice schedule, because everybody's different, and to try to come up with a one-size-fits-all is absolutely impossible. You have to curtail something for yourself. All right? So if you have any questions with this, obviously you've got the comments below. Let me know what you think about this and how your practice schedule is coming along. But the homework and the takeaway from this is take all of that I've told you in regards to into what it is that is your desire, and try to come up with some sort of regimen or some sort of protocol so that when you do pick up the guitar, it's not getting old or stale. Okay, you don't want to move too quick. But if you're not moving quick enough, you're also going to be bored. So there's frustration, that's one side of it. That means you're moving too quickly, you're trying to consume too much. And then there's the bored side, that means you're not doing enough. Okay, you're starving for information. Here you're getting too much, you're being overwhelmed. So we want to be right in the middle where you're getting just the right amount of information, okay? And that depends on what your desires are and your practice schedule. So take that, get your practice schedule, and when you're done, come to the next video and let's keep going.